thing. I do think the game will be ready by the end of the year, but I don't think Microsoft is ready to release it by the end of the year. There's a lot of stuff going on. GTA's out in these streets, Call of Duty's out in these streets. And here's the thing, I ain't like King. I want my franchise to survive.
I think it's a niche title, and I do not think that it will ever be able to challenge something of the likes of a juggernaut like that. Like those are life-changing games. So
I don't think there's anything in this industry that can challenge.
I got
GTA
Fortnite to knock it out of the box. Let's go.
To have, right? And they're not, you know, they're not gonna make the mistake of rushing out a game, especially, you know, Fable. Yeah, Fable can't stand up to like a GTA, right? But Fable has its following, and Fable has the ability now to come back and be bigger than even what it was during the OG Xbox days and Xbox 360 days. So
that Fable would arrive in 2025, but now Xbox Game Studio Chief Craig Duncan, I forgot Craig Duncan now has that role. Booty has elevated over all the ABK and everything. So he's still doing it, but just at a high level. But shout out to Craig Duncan,
the shooter up top. Yeah,
he's shooter. You know what I'm saying? Now, formerly of Just Rare, now Xbox Game Studios Chief, has provided an update on the latest appearance of the official Xbox podcast. Shout out to Tina. Meaning she was on there hosting, doing her thing. She'd be doing the developer direct. She'd be killing it. Anyway, we previously announced the date for Fable as 2025. We are actually going to give Fable more time. It's going to ship in 2026 now, says Duncan. While I know that's not maybe the news people want to hear, what I want to assure people of is that it's definitely worth the wait. I have unequivocal confidence in the Playground team. And then they got to see some early gameplay footage of Fable at last year's Xbox Summer Showcase, which was largely focused on the characters and stories of the game. Fable will be centered on a hero named Humphrey, one who will be forced out of retirement when a mysterious figure from the past threatens Albion's very existence. Microsoft provided a little bit more gameplay footage. So
wait, so you said the story will be around Humphrey?
A hero named Humphrey.
Okay, so and not the female that they keep showing?
I guess that her name is Humphrey. I guess it's male or female. I think you can't. I think the rumor
maybe you could pick
I think there's a male version as well of the character.
Could you imagine? You don't even have to play as that character, and everybody's in an uproar over nothing.
That would be kind of crazy.
Yeah, shout out to
look, man, Addict. This is all you funny. This is actually, it's more stuff. They said Playground is developer. Obviously, they said Duncan says what they're bringing to the Fable franchise, meaning Playground. Just think of the visuals, what you expect from Playground games. Amazing gameplay, British humor, and Playground's take, and quite frankly, the most beautifully realized version of Albion you've ever seen, said Duncan. So yeah, this guy goes in, that comes off the slot of the Xbox Game Studios games, and we gotta bring it to Addict, man. This is you. You are the Lord of Fable. There's no one that I know knows more about Fable than you, and those that I know is more passionate. So how are you taking the news? This is your topic, and what's your thoughts on what you saw that they actually showed as well?
It comes down to it. It's like, look, here's the thing. I do think the game will be ready by the end of the year, but I don't think Microsoft is ready to release it by the end of the year. There's a lot of stuff going on. GTA's out in these streets. Call of Duty's out in these streets. And here's the thing. I ain't like King. I want my franchise to survive. So you
don't want them to drop their album on the same day?
I wouldn't put Fable up against that.
Oh, yeah. Wait, Mr. Drop your album on the same album? Wow.
I don't think
showing intelligence and restraint?
I don't think Fable has the cachet to play that game.
Interesting.
No, I think it's a niche title, and I do not think that it will ever be able to challenge something of the likes of a juggernaut like that. Like those are life-changing games. So
I don't think there's anything in this industry that can challenge.
I got Fortnite to knock it out of the box. Let's go.
Look at Fortnite talk again.
Fortnite is one of the bigger games. Is probably the other biggest game in the industry. But even Fortnite, like when GTA comes out, it's gonna nuke the whole industry.
Your Fortnite guys, what's up?
Fortnite gonna look him in his face, and he's gonna.
When GTA 6 comes out, it will overtake Fortnite on everything.
Listen,
momentarily.
Watch this. Watch the day that GTA come out. Fortnite is gonna drop like a gangster pack.
It don't matter what they drop on the day GTA 6 comes out.
bank
Sound like a
robberies,
better knee to me.
Fortnite. All right, listen, he already lost.
hold on,
He already lost a
hold
bending
on,
knee
hold on,
because
hold on.
I told you that it was going to be next year. You said sources say that it's coming out.
I no, but no. See, the funny thing is, I never did bend the knee on that. You just
I know you
capped.
didn't. No,
But
I know you
anyway.
didn't. No, I'm
Anyway.
not. You didn't.
So
But,
like here it comes down to it, it's
I'm
like
just
look,
98% right.
Continue.
okay, we'll keep going unless it's with me.
Yes.
But so here's the thing. GTA is a big game, and it's probably coming out this year. I'd be very surprised if it doesn't. It's not obviously it's not impossible for that game not to come out this year, but
Coming out
to
with
me
new
it's
Xbox.
It's like
King,
what?
King, your IPS is very high, sir.
I know I'm just acting up.
You acted all
His
over the
IP.
place.
What do you tell people? Talk about me interrupt. You let me go on a rant for a second. All right, this man will interrupt people anytime we talk about Xbox or anything Xbox related. This man is interrupting every other sentence. But why is it? I look in the comment section. You only talk about addicts.
You got the history. Continue. Your history precedes itself.
So, and that's fine, but I own it. They
All right,
act
fair
like
enough.
they act like he doesn't.
Fair
Oh,
Privilege.
Lord
Privilege.
King David.
Black privilege. Continue.
I
made Addict laugh. I made Addict laugh. I almost made a spit his juice out.
Yo, we talking movie theaters.
I got him. Continue. I had to make you laugh.
Okay. So it comes down to it. It's like, look, as much as I would love to play Fable this year, and I'm hoping, I am going to the June stuff. I'm hoping maybe it's still there behind the scenes, so maybe I'll actually get to play. But Microsoft, know this. I know some of you watch this. I better be on those lists to play those previews.
Yo, facts. I'm putting it out there. I'm standing on business. If I know y'all listen, Xbox. If y'all don't hook my man's, this is.
You gotta be specific.
All right, here's the thing. When in terms of coverage, in terms of someone who is a lore connoisseur who's played every Fable game, who knows the ins and outs. Matter of fact,
nah, you can't really pick him. You can't pick him because he doesn't pick the best Fable.
Oh, stop. Anyway, listen.
Watch. Ask him which one's the best Fable.
Forget that foolishness.
Fable 1's the best Fable.
I told you Fable 2.
All right, talk to him. So here's the thing.
I can give you that though. I won't argue with someone that says that because Fable 2 is a great Fable. It's just, to me, I enjoyed Jack of Blade, so that's why
that's one of your favorite, your bosses. Oh. Now, for those who don't know, school them on the clips that they did show the newest gameplay. What did you see? Did you like the direction they going from this latest clip that Crep Duncan and them show explaining that it was going to get delayed, but they showed a little bit more footage?
Let someone else go. I actually bring up the.
Oh, you want to bring it up? Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So while we got Saul,
I have to find it first though.
So Saul, Fable is big. Microsoft been promoting this Playground. They do Forza. They're entering the space now with Fable. They are controlling this from the British standpoint. What's your feelings on the delay, and then how you feel about the outlook for Xbox for the rest of the year with this being not part of the lineup?
I mean, it's a good problem to have, right? And they're not, they're not gonna make the mistake of rushing out a game, especially Fable. Yeah, Fable can't stand up to like a GTA, right? But Fable has its following, and Fable has the ability now to come back and be bigger than even what it was during the OG Xbox days and Xbox 360 days. So, you want to do it right. And, I remember from the beginning, Matt Booty was like, oh, I want to talk about Fable. They don't let me. Like, they don't so this has been something that they know Playground has been cooking for a long time, and they want to have their moment, and they want to, they want it to shine the way they know it should. And in a year where, with the looming possibility of a GTA 6 coming out and a Fable, if it were to come out this year, it would be near the end of the year, which is where I kind of think GTA is going to make it. If it does make it this year,
it was rumored December. That's what it was highly rumored, was December.
Yeah, so it's like there's no reason for it. Take your time, make sure it's as polished as it needs to be. They've been doing well with that when it comes to the releases of games that have not been, broken at launch. I think Indiana Jones did pretty well. I think Avowed, for the most part, isn't broken, right? So you want to keep that cadence. There's no reason to try to push it out, especially when you have, all these other, you have South of Midnight coming. You have Doom coming for sure. So now, yeah, obviously there's kind of an empty space there where it's like, okay, what do we put in there? But you know, you have third party things you could talk about. I mean, there's Gears, right? There's a possibility, right? That I've heard that it could be ready to go. And then from the third party side, I mean, there's a bunch of things, you know, even these. I don't. This should happen. Obviously, I have a vested interest in it not happening, but it could happen. Persona,
6.
Persona, but it should happen, right? So that's another thing that could fill, you know,
What
an
I'm
empty
being told
space.
behind this, what I'm being told behind the scenes, Saul, if you cooked, you might as well give me your knees now.
That's fine. That's fine. And it should be happening. It should be happening. So we'll see.
Do like King David. Not
So did
to the
you
last
see the
second.
gameplay?
Well,
Did you see the new gameplay?
it's not to the last
Saul?
second. Yes,
right.
and that looks like if that's the game. If that's the
th-
game,
this
that
is
means
it.
that if that's the game, that what they showed initially was the game. Because what they showed initially, everyone's like, "What?" And then people were. I remember the team was laughing at the fact they were like, "Oh, people think this is not the game. Oh, wow, that you know, thank you because that's the game." And you know, again, it's one of those things where you have to see it to believe it. This game looks phenomenal. Like it looks like to be a high watermark when it comes.
Can you guys
to
see it?
graphics.
It's kind of choppy, but
Yeah, but you know, if this is it, man, take your time. Just put it out when it's ready because you know we're looking at competitors in the space that aren't looking this way. So I want it to shine, you know, as well as it can when it comes out. So don't rush anything out. Take your time. There's plenty of other games to fill the slot. But another year delay does give more, you know, credence to the belief that maybe there is a day and date or close to day and date PlayStation version coming.
Well, see, that's like you look at like the screen, like I have it paused.
Yeah.
Like this looks very Barrowstone, like one of the main cities in Fable.
Mm-hmm.
It's the biggest city most of the time. Like this kind of looks like Oakville. It's like where the main Fable protagonist lived.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is there's never been horse riding in Fable, so there's now been confirmed horse riding.
Horse riding.
And you know the game looks
that world
really
must
nice.
be big. Paul.
Yeah, these things are annoying. What I was really interested by is how Balverines look. Like this is a white.
Yeah.
It looks like a white Balverine. I don't know. Maybe it's just but this looks like a white fur on it. Like these Balverines are pretty much like the alphas of the Balverines, and it's kind of crazy they showed this off from the start because it looks like a mission that you lure out the Balverine because these Balverines are humans,
Right.
and this is the one that like
He had
infects them.
glizzies on the tray.
They were cooking
Yeah.
glizzies, yeah, you know. You gotta get your
Absolutely
cooking
out
on.
of control.
The
So, and then
werewolf
they had
stuff looked crazy. Yeah.
The chicken thing.
Yeah,
They
I mean,
always keep
once they
doing.
kicked the chicken, I was like, oh, they know. They
These
know.
are hobbits. What I like is the gameplay looks fluid. Now I got to see a little bit more from it, but you know these are a staple Fable enemy. They're called hobbits. But I'm very interested. I'm very interested to see the combat looks interesting. I got to see a little bit more on it, but what they showed, I'm glad that they're like, look, we got to delay it, but we have something
To
because
show
it's
you.
movie.
Yeah. Right. Which maybe points to the idea, like you said, that maybe they do have something playable behind closed doors or something like that you can, you know, can kind of get a little taste of it before the year is out. Because I know, I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm like, that's exciting. It's exciting. A single player RPG, huge open world, coming back to this beloved world, like, you know, and for like a, you know, but putting it out there for like a new audience. Looks impressive. It looks impressive, and I wouldn't want it to come out in anything less than its optimal state. So, yeah. And again, if the year does give them the opportunity to have a PlayStation version ready to go at launch or close to, I'm a firm believer in that main number one zeitgeist moment when you have everybody's attention. A lot of times, games, you know, that year difference matters sometimes, you know.
Or you can put it out 4 years later.
Yeah.
It's a whole new situation.
Do you think this is a full blown year release or just a couple months like Avowed?
Let me see.
I think it's coming out the first 4 months of next year.
You mean you're talking about when do I think it's going to
When
come out?
Fable
Early?
coming out the
Yeah, I
first
think
4 or 5 months of next year.
at this point, if it was going to make
It will be out
the
before
fourth
June
quarter,
of
yeah,
next year.
I would say it's first quarter. Well, no, so before June, so
Of next
first, yeah, so I would say first quarter, latest beginning of second quarter for sure, for sure.
And here's the big thing. You're muted, Cog. Here's the big
thanks.
thing,
Sorry.
though. People want to know: did they delay this to get that PlayStation version ready?
Yeah, it could be, man, could be.
So
I really.
Here's
No,
my thing. I don't.
yeah.
Sorry. Go finish, Saul. You've been on here for a month. Go.
No, I really do think like again, like they really, I think the last, we've always talked about, Phil double talking and not being straight. I think the past 2 months or whatever, they've tried to do a good job of like, hey man, I'm letting y'all know when I say no red lines, I mean, like they're being very deliberate about, hey, don't be surprised by anything that happens. So, I think now with these games that have been in production for years now, I think that reality of like, hey, I want to see the pop that comes from a game coming out day and date on all these platforms. I'm sure if they could have it ready for a Switch 2 or whatever, they'd love to have that, ready to go as well. So that's just the reality of what Xbox is right now. And I think that's fine, man, because again,
A third-party console developer.
yeah, like I said a long time ago, I was like, it feels like they're the only ones who can do it.
Yep.
They can do it. And that's not to say they would stick to it, right? Like, maybe we get this next console generation with, with the handheld in conjunction with what I hope to be a more powerful console, the home experience. But maybe, the money afterwards is like, nah, it's not worth it to do it. And they become full third party. Whatever the case may be, at the end of the day, I think they position themselves to be the biggest third party publisher on all of these platforms.
They already are.
Yeah.
I
Already
personally
are now,
believe.
Yeah, technically they already are.
I personally believe this was pushed back for concerns of like GTA for a little bit more time to do optimization, and it's going to so happen to go in line with getting the game day and date on PlayStation. I personally don't feel like they delayed it to make sure the PlayStation version is coming with.
No, not at all. It's at the end of the day, I think it's just the quality of the game.
Anywhere close.
Yeah.
Is that Hopium King?
No,
Or is
actually,
that-
somebody
or-
would somebody would tell me his quote, right? And what I would tell you to just look at what has been spread out to you dudes. Xbox and Microsoft, they haven't been doing that. Like everybody would sit there and say, "Yo, day and date stuff. This stuff is coming." Doom is a legacy game. Of course, you was gonna get that.
Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds don't say that it's coming day and date.
Oh,
See, that's the problem.
So that's it. He's thinking it's a type.
Yo, listen. Addict. Listen, Addict. I already bet my knees with you. I already bet my knees with you. And what I'm telling you is,
I hope to God you get my knees for that particular bet. I would
Why?
love to be wrong for that.
why? It's just, oh man. All right, so. Just because a game is delayed on Microsoft's side doesn't mean it's being delayed to be ready for the PlayStation platform. If you go and look at the list of the games that did come out, none of the games is all the games that everybody's talking about. Now, maybe all the games that everybody's talking about does come at an eventual time. But that is still not day and date for when they were released. That is still 4 to 5 years after the fact. And they're still running it up on you bums, charging you full price.
Just kind of 4 games like the Sea of Thieves and all that.
Well, Sea of Thieves was not day and date.
Right.
Pentiment wasn't day and date. Hi-Fi Rush wasn't day and date. Even Indiana Jones wasn't day and date.
But that wasn't their play at that moment.
No.
It's full time.
But what I'm saying is, I think they understand
The console war.
we'll launch it first. Not console war.
I'm sorry. I'll be a mess. I let you.
No. I understand you're a console warrior. Like,
I benefit. I benefit.
King
Off,
accusing
yeah, oh,
people.
yeah, exactly. I know it's hilarious, isn't it? See what you missed, Saul? You see what you missed?
Saul,
Saul,
been here.
Saul has not been here.
I forgot the king is ascended. I forgot.
Yeah. I'm a console, but he is the balance.
You have not
See what
been
time
here
line
in a
we in
month.
now. Continue.
You haven't been here in a month,
Yes.
and COG has been a little off balance. And it's up to me to bring him, rein him in.
Yeah, he tells me stop
No,
console warring, bro.
Yeah, and it's wild crazy because he's doing it excessively, and but what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to be level-headed here. You want to hear, so I had to step into that role, right? If you will.
Keith is the one that felt like he had to take Saul's neutral role.
Oh yeah,
because you two guys are out of control. Like I'm really here alone, so I must be on my P's and Q's with you dudes.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact of the matter is, Microsoft has never indicated anything of the such, and anything that is talked about in that manner is really hyperbole and foolhardy thoughts. Now, if it's legacy games, yeah, Doom, yes, of course. Those games will go day and date. I even think Elder Scrolls 6 day and date, because those titles
legacy
are necessary to go to those platforms. Now, when Microsoft says no red lines, yeah, they could dig in a crate and grab something that you love that you ain't been playing and send it over there. Of course, that's cool. Because I see people in an uproar for Forza Horizon 5,
we'll get to.
And I know we're gonna get to the topic, but that's not day and date. So again, when they decide to do day and date, see, they're very clear with their messaging. People want to hear that they're not clear. Oh, they're mismanaged. They're not clear with what's going to go. They told you it's on a case-to-case basis. That's it. So you do know that, and then when the games do come out, they do tell you, Doom is coming out on this day for this, that, and the third platform. When the game is announced on a launch, they don't skip out on where it's going to launch and who it's going to launch for. So I don't think anybody should be fearful for that. Like, I was never fearful for Avowed when they delayed it. Remember with Avowed, they said they delayed it to get the PlayStation version ready for when Avowed come out. And now Avowed came out. I don't see no PlayStation version. So obviously Xbox, and I'm using Indiana Jones and Avowed, two titles that have launched on the Xbox platform that are Xbox games that are proprietary to the console until they warrant. And I do believe that at some point in time, a lot of the newer titles will go to the PlayStation platform. But after a period of time that it has stayed on the Xbox platform. So I don't know if it's 6 months to a year. I don't think. As long as they still have hardware, you will still be preferenced.
I guess to me, the reason that I've completely, because you can ask COG, that used to be my hope. Okay, we'll at least have timed exclusives to give the hardware some value. But then when that rumor that it's turned out to be 100% correct, that Discord rumor, that one of them was Doom was originally an exclusive, and then they changed it midway through development. And then we saw the Outer Worlds 2 go from an exclusive launch,
which they
and
promoted
it
as an
exclusive.
No, I
go to a multi-plat game.
I believe you. I believe the thought process when they got ZeniMax. Was it ZeniMax? Yeah, ZeniMax. When they purchased ZeniMax, all those games was going to be exclusive. When they caught ABK, you're a different beast now.
So
you don't. So you can't say now. You can't say, because Satya is looking at you like, why are those games not created equal? Why? No, Bethesda is no better than ABK. So what you're going to do?
What makes Fable different?
Well, I didn't say Fable won't go.
Oh, okay.
It's not going day and date.
I would love if you're right. I would love the 98% right.
No, I think the way they're starting to think about it
happen.
So,
Yeah, go ahead, so.
I think the way they're starting to think about Xbox now is that they, first of all, the vision they have for it, they haven't been able to make it come together yet because everything moves slowly. But I think ultimately their vision for it is the differentiator on the Xbox side for the Xbox platform will be Game Pass. That will continue, right? That's what they're going to point to and be like, hey, well, okay, you get it here, you have that, whatever that early access is on Game Pass. If you have Game Pass already, you don't have to pay for it separately. I think that's the differentiator, right? And then in the future, I do think that they will continue, right? At least with this next console generation, they're talking about the biggest technical leap, you know, and the fact that the game will be obviously PC day one. I think all of those things are what they're thinking about as a differentiator that somebody on the Xbox platform or they think will make someone make the Xbox platform appealing to someone that maybe is kind of in the middle, as opposed to, okay, we're just going to sell it on a PlayStation 5. I think less and less the distance, the 6 months differentiation in release time or whatever, I think it's just going to matter less and less. I think right now they're trying to get to that point where they can get to these things out day and date. I think that's their plan. I just think logistically they haven't been able to make it happen quite yet, and we're going to see what happens with Doom. We're going to see what happens with the Outer Worlds 2. But I think their goal with everything, when they look at all of these, these properties that they have, I think they've stopped looking at them as this is sacred, this is precious.
Yeah, I don't think nothing is sacred. But what I do believe is, and no, I'm
real quick. We got $100 super chat.
We gotta make it rain. Yeah, we got to break protocol for that. Bonti, Saab, you see that?
Bonti, $100 super chat. This fitted trip, enough respect. Again, big up. Shout out to Bonti.
That's the one thing to say. That's why I always be talking about AI. AI don't sound like that.
No, we can't get an AI Saab. What I honestly believe is, as long as they got hardware, and people saying they're not prioritizing their ecosystem, they have an overload of games. And what they did teach the Xbox gamer is you don't need to buy anything. What we want you is in the service. Now, the time that they told you to do that, they were on a pace to get to 50 million. COVID ended. People said, oh, I'm going back to work. And they're not locked in the house. That's not going to reach that 50 million that was promised. Somebody promised somebody there. Like, okay, we put our games in there. You sure we're going to hit 50 million? Yeah, man. You see the numbers, we're going up every week. Then COVID ended. It ended. And then you saw it drop. And he's like, so about that 50.
Yeah, in conjunction with them not being able to predict that Jim Ryan and PlayStation would be extra
and do that with ABK deal. But I'm just talking about when they initially talked about Game Pass.
I agree
right?
with that.
So they train the Xbox person not to buy games. Now, but you can buy a whole bunch of stuff. If you want to buy the game, you can. You can still partake.
I don't necessarily, let me just say something. I don't necessarily think they conditioned anyone to not buy games. They conditioned people to not take risks. If you don't feel like a game is going to really captivate you, you won't take the risk because you think, okay, it might go into Game Pass, maybe I'll play it there.
But no, I'm talking about Xbox games.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, games on Xbox, because that's this huge misconception that I feel. Xbox game. No, what it is there's a service that lets people not take risks as much. But when you notice when games are on Game Pass, those people that were going to play those games were going to buy those with or without Game Pass. It doesn't matter. Like Assassin's Creed, people are going to get that game if they want to play. The only people that may have bought that, I would say it affects the indie scene a little bit more, because you look at an indie game, you see, okay, those definitely look like they might go into Game Pass.
Sorry, my brothers, but
you got to go.
I'm getting a call.
Blessings. Good to see you, bro.
If you're excited to play these games, it not being in the service or being in a service isn't going to matter in the grand scheme of things. See you, Saul. That's just my opinion on that.
But that's not even my talking point.
Yeah,
my talking point is I'm talking about Xbox games.
Okay.
See, the whole question was, will Fable go day and date? I'm telling you that Xbox games that are like integral to what they're trying to do won't. All right, because like let's say they have like a Halo, and Halo eventually makes it over to PlayStation. I don't think it makes it over day and date.
Okay.
Because I believe that they still prioritize you in a form of a fashion.
Oh, that's funny to me.
No,
Let me hear it. You really holding
right.
on. Okay.
No, it's not holding on to anything. It's just seeing exactly what they have laid out.
They told you they putting them over.
No, I'm
red
not
bars.
saying. Okay, see, you're not understanding what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm listening.
I'm saying not day and date.
Right. I know you're saying that they're gonna come, but you're holding on.
They can go to at any time.
No, I get it. No, because this is what you're saying. You're saying that like when me and you use the Outer Worlds 2 example as a game that was initially announced on an Xbox stage, was an Xbox exclusive that has now been moved to say and put a PlayStation logo. What you're saying, in fairness to you,
right?
You are saying no, Cog. That's fine. It's coming. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's day and date, almost similarly the way Indiana Jones
they just
is
letting
coming.
them know.
They're just letting them know, right? So
because they didn't let us know that Indiana Jones was going to PlayStation.
I get where you're going. And then you're saying, I understand your points as far as like legacy titles, like an Elder Scrolls and Doom. That's day and date. Okay. So basically what it comes down to, in order to test said theory,
the game has to do it.
Xbox Game Studio get like Fable will be a good test subject, right? In a sense like okay, will it come out day and date now as a result of this delay? I'm of the mindset that the only reason why they are exclusive is based on happenstance that the studio is not ready yet because they are now in transition of implementing this everywhere strategy. So we'll just have to see, right?
Yeah, I think certain studios are more
equipped better than others. Yeah,
well, that's what Matt Booty said too. Like all of y'all are parroting exactly what Matt Booty said. I think dudes in that building is ducking fades. Right? I think they realize that they have to say that it's going to PlayStation because all the flack that they did get from not saying that whatchamacallit was going to the PlayStation.
Right.
So all right, so we caught a bunch of flack for that. What we should do is tell them that it's going to PlayStation. So when we announce it, it ain't no flag. Y'all knew.
And to your point, we have some early data, which we'll get into when we get to the Forza topic about what's going on there. But I'll let you get finish your ball, then I'll get my balls off on this. This is a fun one. Sorry,
so Fable itself. Okay, so this is my theory. The new Xbox hardware is coming out in 2026. I believe they're holding a lot of their heavy guns. So when the hardware launches, in the launch window, they have the Halo, the Gears, the Forza, and maybe a Fable, a RPG that can play in that space for the consumer. I don't think necessarily, and also, I think they do want performance modes. I do believe they're working on other stuff. And it's no rush this year because I told dudes it didn't make any sense for the cadence of the stuff that they did have. And Craig Duncan said they have more stuff that they haven't even announced for this year.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense for Microsoft. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. And that's how they have to play it. Because when we had whatchamacallit on Peter Moore. When we had Peter Moore on, Peter Moore explained to you that if he had it to do it over, the Dreamcast wouldn't have had the greatest launch video games in history.
Right.
He would spread them out over time.
Facts.
Because what they did was they gave themselves a quick burn.
Yes, good point.
And what I'm noticing with Microsoft, and this is not console warring, this is just me looking and noticing, the forest for the trees, is that they understand now we have so much. There's no need to run out to try to be first, to beat somebody to do something because the market already told you they chose PlayStation. All right. So now that they chose PlayStation, what you need to do, because they still want your games,
Yeah, they definitely do. We'll get into that.
you have to make the best games that you can make. So when they do eventually go over, your games will precede you. I think game quality is taking a precedence over being. We got to beat them. We
Right.
got to have a catalog.
Or the
because
shotgun blast of everything at the same time that me and Maddie would call like
Doesn't make
everything
any
drop
sense.
it with one holiday quarter. Like that's old
Yeah.
Xbox. Yeah.
See, here,
what they did with Forza and Halo,
Yeah.
where Addict said they shouldn't have did it, and it did eat into their sales.
here's what my opinion on it. I feel like now, at least till the next gen starts, they don't care about the hardware. They don't care about people on the hardware. They care about bringing up that margin as much as they possibly can. And we've seen it time and time again where games that have a post-launch on another platform, those sales are drastically numbered on those other platforms because the hype for them's already over. You know, even though with games like, you know, Final Fantasy Rebirth and you know Remake, when those games did come over to other platforms, when it comes to PC, those sales weren't really on the same scale they were on just the initial platform.
Right.
So like there's proof on that standpoint. And now obviously in the past how it would go is they value that little bit of brand recognition and boost to the console sales where they wouldn't care about the money they potentially leave off the table going to other platforms. But I don't think Phil and them are in charge. I think Satya is like, look, man, we got to delay the game. You might as well just go ahead and make sure that PlayStation version's ready.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like a port out of convenience based on the mission. But I'll jump in. It's a good one. Look, man, obviously the news broke, and I'll be honest, I was surprised. I know I'm seeing a lot of people say, yo, I was not surprised. I knew it was going to get delayed. I actually was surprised. I was like, oh, wow.
I'm the Fable head, and I was telling Congo I kind of saw it coming. Like, I was hoping it would come out this year.
I'm surprised from, you know, the fact that they announced. I thought, okay, well, maybe it's ready. I'm not surprised from the standpoint of the lineup that I know that they have.
Yeah.
Right? Because what we're at this point now, this is now the beauty of having the abundance of riches. Right? This is not old Xbox of 2022.
With 3 studios.
Where it's like, bro, it's a little bit of studios. If we don't get Starfield, if we don't have Redfall at the same time, you literally have nothing for the year from a first party output. Like, we are far from those days. And that part is really beautiful to see. So I think that when you look at it, again, already, what we got, Avowed, that just came out. Doom the Dark Ages, which I believe is May.
South of Midnight.
South of Midnight, right? April. I mean, we already know they got the marketing rights in Game Pass with Claire Obscura 33, which is a major deal. That's like an exclusive in a way. Then we know now, just as this week, Tony Hawk, the Activision stuff is coming.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk 3 and 4 is looking like it's going to be March. Then the rumor state, Oblivion remake, that is coming, right? That may be May, June. We got to see. People keep forgetting Towerborn is coming this year. Replace that me and you play King is coming this year.
This year, yeah.
And I know nobody likes to talk about it, but every year there's a new Call of Duty that is coming this year. And we forgetting about the latest drop. Ninja Gaiden is coming this year. This is an insane lineup. And then Addict made a good point, which is like, not only do you want the game to succeed, we still got the boogeyman of GTA at any moment. Now, I know some people are saying, yo.
Just recently, they did an updated, recent updated, you know, comparison what they expect to make that quarter, and they still kept them same numbers.
Right. Insane. So, again, and even if GTA didn't come out, it is still an insane lineup. They have so many games. Now you have to figure out where to place things, where to space out. The question for me will be when in 2026? Look, I would hope, like Addict said, like, yo, you drop that joint first quarter. You know what I'm saying? You do a developer direct with it in conjunction with it. You do the deep dive like you want. I want to see that. Now, I do think the PS5 port, if it does happen, it's a happen out of convenience based on it. I think they are giving them more time, which is fine. Let this thing cook. We want this game. Fable is so important to succeed on the highest level. Now, the question I got for y'all is the fun part. Xbox now, let's just put it out there. They got the best showcases. When it comes to the showcases now, it's like 3 years in a row. It's uncontested. They've got the best showcases. One of the other cool things that they're doing in this new showcase format is they'll have the spotlight game, the heavyweight game, right? Now, coming into this, I'm
no
like,
clue what that is.
Right, this is the question for
Starting
y'all.
to think it's Gears.
Because here's the thing. Fable, prior to this announcement, was the heavyweight game. That's the game you go if it's coming out this year.
Unless Fable is coming out like January or February and it just needed a couple months or
Right.
something,
Then they could
it still
maintain the
might
spot,
be that
right?
June shade.
Facts. So it depends on the delay. So if the delay is to the top of the year, I agree with you, Addict. The champ could hold the spot as a spotlight game. But here's the question. Let's just say they give them a full year, right? And it's 2026 later, right? Which is still fine because they got State of Decay 3, Clockwork Revolution, and Fable. You still lit. You still got 3 monsters. And Call of Duty again and more of it.
What is it?
Everwild. I forgot about Everwild.
Yeah.
Bro, I forgot about Everwild.
And not
Contraband.
At that point,
Yeah,
you're probably
Contraband.
going to see State of Decay 3. You're going to start seeing these games that needed a little bit more time to get out, probably Everwild.
Bro,
and then not to mention the games that released 2 or 3 years ago, you're going to see their new games.
Their new game, and new
come
footage
out.
or Perfect Dark maybe or whatever. 2026, like they're
Perfect Dark.
stacked.
Yeah.
Right? So
We're forgetting a game.
we're
That's
forgetting,
crazy.
Halo.
bro. We
Halo.
forgot. You know what else we forgot?
Yeah, Halo Studio.
Halo
Remember?
Studio. We forgot, bro. Blade announcement was like a couple, like
Yeah.
maybe they ready to show a little game. Like it's so much in the cut, in the Wu-Tang. It's so much joint. Anyway, let's get back on focus, right? So now, so if it's early, I'm with you, Addict. It still gets the heavyweight spot for Xbox Showcase Spotlight. If it's later, here's the question: who gets the spot? Because
Outer Worlds 2.
now here's the question. Now I would love that, but here's the thing: do you think I might have some King energy here? Do you think Outer Worlds, as hardcore as it is it heavyweight enough to be like, yo?
No.
I'm kind of with King on, like, and I'm Black Rock Obsidian to the death. I don't know if it's heavy, like has that pop
I mean,
appeal.
Ninja Gaiden has a heavyweight spot.
I don't think they give that to Ninja Gaiden.
I think so.
Ninja Gaiden.
When Aaron Greenberg comes out and says, if we do it with our money as a first party studio, that means that he knows more than
It's either-
what he's saying.
It's either going to be Fable or Call of Duty,
Now,
and
let
I
me-
don't want it
let
to
me-
be
let me
Call
throw-
of Duty,
let me
but
throw
it's
another-
either
Call
gonna
of
be
Duty's by
Fable or
default.
But Call of
heavy.
Duty gets it by
Yeah.
default. It's if they
By
want to do
default,
it
it's-
or annoy us.
They have a whole show
But let me-
separate
facts.
for Call of Duty.
But now let me throw the monkey wrench in there.
Do it.
Now here I might have to. I hate this, but I might have to eat my words, Tom Warren. If you're right, I'm gonna be so mad at you, but I'm gonna be happy. So let's just say Fable 2026 late. They're not the showcase game because they want to give it time for next year, right?
Right.
We know the rumors. The rumors now for Warren is Gears. He's standing on Gears E-Day this year,
that one insider said Gears 2,
right? If any game,
and he's been right.
could had a title kick to be like, you
It
know
would be
what,
Gears.
you move,
Gears would be it.
Gears is ready. Coalition is ready.
Yeah, Gears.
Put that Gears E-Day up in there for the
But
spotlight.
what I was told is,
What you told?
and this
Once if it's Forza Horizon 6
yeah, what? And,
in Japan.
okay, so
Oh.
all right, so
Oh, Road to Tokyo.
I believe that it's not Gears.
Okay.
I don't believe Gears comes out until next year. Because I'm going to stand on Halo, Gears, Forza launch titles with Fable.
All coming out for PlayStation 5 Pro.
Well,
No, you're talking about a console in 2026 and Xbox?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So you
yeah.
standing on 2026 console?
yeah, 2020, yeah, console in 2026.
2027?
No,
Really? You think? Okay.
yeah, 2026 next year. They because yeah.
Salute the Code Eastwood in the chat. I see you in there, bro. Salute.
I believe that the console's launching next year. With those games, I do believe that the Forza Horizon 6 holds that spot. And
For the new
I think
joint. Yeah.
I think that's the mea culpa to
Forza
what's transpiring now.
Right. Give them the old
Right.
joint.
Yeah.
Get them acclimated.
So,
new
yeah,
joint
like-
coming. Yeah.
So they can't tell you don't be upset. What they're gonna do is handle their business, and then when they do announce the Forza Horizon 6, and you do see it, and you do go crazy, and they do just say Xbox, you don't see a PlayStation logo.
You know what?
That's
Actually, we're not
them-
saying that.
Yes, that-
What are you not saying?
You know, we were saying that we're just assuming doesn't happen, but could easily be that title, and it would blow up the world
yeah.
Don't say that.
if it's GTA
They ain't
6.
doing that.
Well,
It will blow up the world, but Strauss
Yeah.
Zelda ain't playing that game.
Nah,
That-
he
that-
ain't-
that
he-
check-
They got the marketing for that. and
oh, the
that is
marketing
what
would be
is-
cool.
No,
Marketing
if
would be
they
cool,
get
but
the marketing, they could they can negotiate for that. If they are able to do that
you mean to put it on their stage, right?
Yeah, it could be
Yeah,
the
put it
third.
on
That,
the
that would be
stage.
the only third-party game that would be so big enough that they can market it
that
like
would
it's
be what
yeah.
Cyberpunk should have been. Like,
Right.
No, I
Yeah.
get that. It's just I think Strauss is he.
No,
I
think there's almost zero chance they have
Yeah.
the marketing.
He
for
knows
it,
his
but
worth.
that would be one of the biggest games.
Facts.
That they could. There couldn't be a bigger game that they could
Facts.
promote on that stage.
In fact, there's no big game.
That'd be hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe that they showed the Forza Horizon 6,
Okay.
and the Xbox person feels, oh, okay, they got
But
got
here's
five.
here's the
That was 5
pushback.
years ago. We're good.
When they do it, I like the idea of what you're saying because
Right.
it's like, okay, yo, we know about 5. We're gonna get to that. 6 is coming, yo, and it's time to talk about 6.
Right.
It is time, right? And if Attica, they want to roll to Tokyo, that'd be
That'd be
great,
wild,
right?
yeah.
That'd be great.
Haven't
right?
had a midnight club in a while.
Woo! Exactly. That the only pushback I get is that remember the spotlights are always historically the deep dive of a game that they've already showed that they like, yo, this is coming this year type energy. That's my only pushback, King. I feel what you
Might
said.
be Ninja Gaiden.
It could be. I mean, they did show it. It could be. We're gonna see. I'm just curious about whatever the heavyweight game.
Well, I
spotlight game is this
also
year.
feel that they're going to have the show in June.
Yeah.
What is it? January, February, March. March GDC.
Mm-hmm.
April they're going to have another show. May a smaller indie thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then June the big bang.
Mm.
So in between from now until June,
Mm-hmm.
you might have 3 shows.
Right.
In those 3 shows, we could have a tip of the hand to see what's the heavyweight ticket item
Mm-hmm.
in the June show.
But then that means you show it twice.
Well, you show it smaller,
Right.
and then you have the big, like you said, the big blowout of the game to anchor, if you will,
Right.
whatever part of the year it does come out.
I mean, it definitely, especially a third-party game or they got so much, man. It's I'm very just interested now.
I'm just happy
Yeah,
that they
I
have
think-
games.
Yes. me
Yeah,
too.
I think we've blown the topic out.
Yeah.
Of course. It's like,
I just wanted to have fun with y'all on that one. I was just curious about
so-
it.
No,
Just
it's absolutely
I
hilarious.
guess we don't forget we have to play the Oswald.
Yeah,
thing
right.
between
Thank you.
these
That's about,
topics.
yeah, I'm doing it. Get it ready now. But yeah, that was it. You know, look, at the end of the day, I'm just glad Playground, if they pull this off, they would literally be considered one of the GOAT studios. They'll have the best, racing game and potentially, one of the best franchises with Fable as a, AAA type energy. And this is the closest thing to hashtag just one for me from them. It's that level of fidelity. It's that level of production value. And when I saw
It looked
that
like
little
The
clip,
Witcher.
yeah, when I saw that clip, I'm like, man, let them cook. That thing looks amazing, beautiful. So whenever they're ready, man. But it's a fun game and it's good. Xbox in a good position that they can do this and still have